All right, everyone, welcome to Rhythm and Rose Las Vegas. I'm your host, Joshua Jacob. On today's show, we have a very special guest, singer, actress, and Las Vegas show performer, Dina Emerson. Welcome on the
Hello.
show. Yeah, welcome on the show. Pleasure to have you on.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm really excited to talk to you.
I'm excited to hear your story and get to know you. Yeah, thank you, Dina. And so, Dina, I know Las Vegas have seen your shows. They've seen, they've heard you sing. And that's why we're here is because we want to get to know your story. I know you've had such a great support from Vegas for your shows. But what's the story behind Dina Emerson? And that's why we're here. So what we want to
Well,
ask is, yeah, just the beginning part of just how you discovered at a young age singing, being an actress and all that.
do you want me to start with like me as a younger person, or do you want me to start with
Yeah.
like how I got to Vegas?
Oh no, let's start with you as a younger person because that's where the foundation is, and
Okay.
a lot of my interviews I always like to ask, where did the foundation start? Where was the spark of that interest at a young age? Because for me at a young age, I love filmmaking. I love playing the drums. You know what I mean? So a
hmm
lot of that started when I was young. So
Well, with me, for some reason, even when I was a little kid, from like 6 or 7 or 8, I just loved to perform, more like in theater. But we had this like peak 70s house when I was a kid that had this kind of entryway with a little platform that then there was like a sunken living room on one side and then the family room on the other. So it looked kind of like a stage. And I used to do little shows when my parents had company over. I would be like, okay, it's time for the show. And then go up on this little platform. And then I started doing plays and school projects and so forth. And then when I was around 14 or 15 in first year of high school, I went to go see my high school choir because a friend of ours, friend of the family, was an art teacher there, and he said, "Oh, have you seen their concerts yet?" And I was like, "No." So we went, and it was, I can't even describe. It was like what you would think of as a spiritual experience, like they started singing and every like hair stood up on end and I had tingles and I was like, this is the most amazing thing, the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. And so that's when I wanted to learn how to sing. So I came to singing a little bit later than some people. I have friends who were like singing since they were 2 or something. But I started singing as a teenager and then more seriously after college because in college I majored in theater. But then when I graduated, I moved to New York in the late 80s. That's how long I've been working. And then the singing just took off. And then I ended up mostly doing singing projects for 25 years or so. And just in the last 10 years or so, I've started getting back into theater and opera and mixed discipline things like that. And it's been really fun to like bring that part back.
wow, what a chapter already with that. Chapter one of Dina.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, what you mentioned about being on that platform at your house, there's certain things I would use when I was into magic when I was young.
Oh, you
David
do
Copper,
magic?
yeah. Well, I used to when I was a kid. Yeah, David Copperfield is still my idol. I love that guy since I was young. But when I was young, yeah, I would definitely find, my little platform, have my tricks ready, and then do little shows. So that's cool that you mentioned that. That definitely hits home of just utilizing what you have at the house to be say, all right, guys, regardless if you're ready or not, I'm going to do a show. So,
That's right. My parents'
so
friends, they just had to watch it. That's
that's
all.
right. You have to watch it. Get some popcorn and root beer. So, let's have some fun. No, that's awesome. But I just want to say, wow, what a journey from that point. And then you lived in New York. Like that's incredible.
I
I've
did.
never
I
lived
lived
in
there
it.
for quite
Yeah.
a while, from 88 till about 2000.
Wow.
And I went back a little bit after that, and I still go back and visit, but I pretty much moved permanently around 2001.
About 2001. Wow, around 2001 when that
Yeah.
whole um the towers that happened, right? The
Yeah, so I was
terrorist attack.
actually working in Vegas for the first time when that happened. And well, that's a whole other thing, but yeah, I have friends who like were driving away, saw it in their rearview mirror, like happening. You know, we're that age
That's
where
crazy.
we were very adult already at that
Yeah.
time, so it's a very vivid memory for us.
Oh yeah. Man, I can't imagine what your friends saw and just to be there and see that. And but so you leading from that point to Vegas, like what was the transition of you deciding to move to here to Vegas?
Well, here's what happened. Had never been here in my life. I loved living in New York. I thought I would never ever move away. But through a series of things that took a while, I got offered a job, a temporary job, to come and sing at O when O was only 2 years old, and it was I was going to replace the lead singer for 6 months, and I
Wow.
ended up getting that job, and I thought, well, this I should do this. I'll just come, I'll buy a car, I'll drive it back to New York. It's going to be amazing. They give you health
Yeah.
insurance, all these things
Wow,
I
yeah.
didn't have, and it was amazing. Uh, and then it led to another job at Mystere because a singing position opened up there, and I was a really good fit for it. So I was like, okay, I'll just stay a year and save money. And then in true Vegas fashion, it's now like 26 years later.
Wow, 26 years later.
Yeah, I
What did
did move away. I
yeah.
moved away for 5 years to the Bay Area, but
Okay.
I came back here in 2007 and I've been here ever since then.
Wow. And even the Bay Area, that's cool. Wow.
Yeah, I love it there too, but
Yeah.
so much has to do with like cost of living and
Oh,
the variety of jobs that are here versus there, so many things like that to
yeah.
consider.
Well, I want to ask you those opportunities that were definitely incredible doors with all, right, for the Cirque du Soleil. Like what was your what was that experience like getting a phone call?
Well,
Did you apply for it? Did it just all of a sudden just popped out of nowhere? You're like, oh shoot, okay.
what
Like,
happened was I had seen in those days we had like newspapers and things we would see audition notices in, and I saw that they were going to come to New York and audition for singers, and I had seen one of their shows. This is late '80s we're talking about, and sorry, late '90s. Sorry, late '90s we're talking about, and so I got a slot in the auditions and it went really well. And they told me, oh, we love you. We're putting you in the file. We don't have anything for your voice type right now, but I'm sure you'll hear from us. And 2 years later, I got a call and they said, would you make a kit? We want you to make a demo for this show in Las Vegas, blah, blah, blah. So they sent me the music, and then you had to record your own voice with the tracks. And back then that was very complicated because we had to like go to a real studio. It's hard to imagine that, right? But long story short, they loved my demo and they offered me the 6 month job and housing and everything. And I came to Vegas, had never been here before. I
wow.
arrived in like May of 2000. It was 95 degrees. I was like, what is going on? But I have definitely fallen in love with this place.
Wow,
As
what a
frustrating
story.
as it can be sometimes, it's just an amazingly interesting
Yeah.
place, especially the people who are working here artistically.
No, yeah, I agree. And wow, what a cool story. Just the fact that you got that opportunity to be a part of an amazing show. I have not even seen. Oh, I mean, it's still around, right?
Yes, you'll love it. It's
Oh my
beautiful.
God!
It's
Like, what's
really,
wrong with me? I
really
can't believe I have not
beautiful.
seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
and what
kind of the
others?
crown jewel in the Cirque. Well, don't tell the other people, but you know, it's still very like sells out, and it's a beautiful theater. It's a
Oh my
really
God!
special show.
Oh, I would love to go check it out. Yeah. And sorry to ask, but what was the other shows you did that were part of this?
Mystere.
Mystere. See, I have not
Yes.
even seen Mystere.
So that's the oldest Cirque show in town. It's over
Is
30
it?
years old now. It's still running.
Wow.
Mm.
Amazing. 30 plus years. Wow. And that's so cool that you were a part of that.
I know it's been amazing to see
Yeah.
like which shows keep going and how they keep them fresh and you
Yeah.
know still like alive, if you will.
Oh yeah, of course. So what's next for you on are you recording any tracks? Are you wanting to use some like write your own original music or are you more for the shows?
I'm more for live performance, although
Okay.
I have composed a little bit, like kind of more soundtracky things. You know, I like to make kind of, film soundtracky type things for friends. Sometimes I'm not really a sound designer, but I kind of dabble with that a little bit. And I like to improvise. Um, but mostly I'm doing more theater now. And I do actually still work at O, by the way, but just as their on call singer. So I go in there if the full time singer is out or needs help. And last year I was in almost full time because there was a health issue with the singer, but now there's a new person and she's like so solid. So I just go in once a month or, you know, so I still do that. But right now, at the moment, we just opened a Shakespeare play that I'm in. Last night was opening night, the
Really?
Nevada
Oh,
Shakespeare
sure.
Company, and I haven't done Shakespeare in like 25 years, and it's been so much fun. It's
Oh my God.
very, very funny. It's like one of the comedies. It's The Taming of the Shrew, and it's hilarious.
Wow.
So if you like theater, I recommend it.
You know, I don't usually go to theater much, but I would love to start going. You know, because yeah, I mean, I'm into filmmaking, so theater can also have a tie-in and that to acting and Broadway and all that. But yeah, I would love to experience that. But congrats on the opening night yesterday.
Thanks.
Yeah. What was
The
the
crowd
response
was
like?
loving it.
Yeah.
We got a nice write up in the Las Vegas Weekly. I don't know.
Oh, very
They
cool.
brought it here. Oh, maybe the camera
Oh,
can't
it's
see
kind of
it.
blurred out, but
Oh yeah,
oh wow, okay, I see some of it. Oh,
there
there
we
it is.
go.
There you go. Wow,
My camera's
very
not really
cool.
loving it. But anyway, if you look at the Las Vegas Weekly, there's a nice feature about it.
Oh, nice.
Um, because it's like very, very comedic take. It's not one of those serious things where you're not going to know what's going on. Believe me, you'll know what's going on and you'll have a lot of fun.
That's awesome. And where is it at again?
It's at Cornerstone Park in Henderson, and they have a big tent that they put up for 3 months in the
Oh,
spring.
wow. Okay.
And there's like circus stuff, and then another show, and then now it's the Shakespeare. So it's Cornerstone Park, Nevada Shakespeare Company. Just look that up and you'll find it. And there's very affordable tickets.
Awesome. Okay. And so you are part of this all the way straight through the 3 months? Part of the show?
I'm just in this show, so we've been rehearsing for a little while, and we're only performing for 2 weeks. So
Oh, two
check those
weeks.
dates.
Okay. Wow. That's a short run.
Yeah. And then
Okay.
after that, I'm going to be making a piece with some friends of mine in the Fringe Festival. There is a Fringe Festival coming up here in Las Vegas
Okay.
called Fallout Fringe. And it started last year and it was great. And so they're going to do it again. And there's many different kinds of performances, some coming from out of town,
Wow.
but I'm working with some friends of mine. We have a little theater company. We do pretty wild, fun stuff. Um,
Well,
so we're
that's
doing a
cool.
version of a Greek play, but it's a pretty raunchy version if
Oh,
you like that kind
raunchy.
of thing,
Okay. Oh, that's
sort of
cool. And
burlesque.
okay, okay. And when does this launch? When you want to
That's
launch?
going to be in June. It's
In
going to
June.
be
Okay.
like June 5th through 25th, I think, is the whole festival.
Oh,
Fallout
wow.
Fringe.
Okay.
It's going to
Well,
be
wow,
really
that's
fun.
exciting.
It's like
Yeah.
5 different venues downtown.
Five. Wow. Five different. Okay. Yeah, I'd love to come and check that out and give a review on that. So what, so Dina, from this journey that you are now here in Las Vegas, do you ever, besides what's coming up in June, is there any other shows that you're trying to get into from the Las Vegas that are, you know, out there that have been around for a while?
Well, that's an interesting question, because I'm like not a spring chicken, and so I'm kind of in the time of my life when I'm lucky enough to get to do what I want to do, and so it's more like project to project and making my own work in theater and collaborating with people I really like. And so I'm kind of more on the zone of creativity because I did work full time on the strip for so long and it was amazing. I'm so grateful. But now I like to be a free agent and kind of like go where, like a little hummingbird, go where I see something interesting and create it or help someone else create it, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. And I'm glad that you're like your own free agent where, hey, this new show's coming up. I'd like to give my services. Hey, they need an extra help in this show. You're gonna reach out. Yeah, I like that. So you're on your own agent and you work for yourself. So cool.
Yeah.
I would love to come see one of your shows, hopefully in the summer or then that one that you told me about, the Shakespeare one. I know you invited me out. I was just at work last night, so I couldn't, there was no chance for me to make it.
Oh, well, there's
Um,
2 more weeks. I'll
yeah,
send
there's
you the
2 more
date.
weeks, so that's still a definite possibility for me to go. So
If you come, you'll see me play multiple different parts. I'm changing like wigs all the time, and I'm doing different
really,
accents and being really ridiculous, like
that's so cool.
really outrageously silly.
I do want to ask because it seems like you're very into the Broadway, the shows like live shows and all that. What interests you to want to pursue that? Did you see a show when you were younger that you were like, oh, I would love to be on Broadway or do theater? Was it more a film that inspired you?
That's such an interesting question. I've always really been into live performance, and I love going to the movies, but I've never really been attracted to film acting. I have done recording, voice, singing recording, but it's like 100%. My favorite thing to do is live performance, which is, I know, a very kind of little bit rarefied and quirky, but I think some of it had to do with going to plays and musicals when I was a kid. My parents would take me to, we had like this regional theater about an hour from where I grew up that had an incredible summer season in a big outdoor amphitheater. And they would do Shakespeare and then they would do musicals. They would like do one of each, they'd flip flop. And we used to go there, and I just like I was so enchanted by it that I really wanted to do that. I think that was probably my first big inspiration. Um,
No, that's awesome. I'm glad that that sparked that interest in you to pursue that. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
that's really cool.
Oh, I
Um,
should mention my grandmother too, because my dad's mother raised my dad as a single mom by teaching kids theater and speech out of her house. She had like a little theater school out of her house. So that was always a little bit like I knew about that when I grew up. And then when I started to see theater, I was like, oh, that's what she was doing. Wow.
That's awesome. Wow. I'm glad she had an inspiration behind that with you. You know what I mean? You're gonna encourage you and be that light. Yeah. So, Dina, before we close, how can the viewers kind of like continue to follow you on your journey? I mean, what's your social media and your links?
Oh, I'm just absolutely terrible with Instagram, but I am on there and I will try and post more besides my cats because I usually post mostly my cats.
Oh, you have cats. Oh,
But
that's cool.
oh,
Yeah.
yes, I love
I
my
love dog
cats.
and cats. I prefer
I'm
dogs more, but cats are cute too.
I've got 3 cute cats, and
Oh,
if
nice.
you follow me on Instagram, you'll see them sometimes. And you can look
That's
for
funny.
DNA Emerson. So it's like my name misspelled, but it's like DNA instead of DINA. So
Okay.
DNA Emerson.
And then for them to come see your Shakespeare show that's already in progress,
Hmm.
what's the links on that? Is the
Oh,
website
look
or
for Nevada Shakespeare Festival, and all the information is on that website.
okay. Well,
And then
cool.
definitely look up Fallout Fringe Festival, which is coming up in June, and there's going to be so many fun shows.
Yeah,
Kind of on the wild side, like it's
the
all
wild
going to
side.
be a little quirky.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. I have one more question before we close. So a lot of what I do like to ask is there has to be one point of your journey where you might have come against a rough road, maybe a barrier, something that you questioned yourself and wondered, was this the right decision in moving, taking this chance on this role? Have you ever, I know you've probably been through that, but what's the way for you how you got through that? Because I mean, a lot of us have gone through that. We've gone through our hurdles, insecurities, certain things of fear stopping us from pursuing even a move, right? Like if you want to move to a different city, the fear of that, like, well, how is this going to work? What happens if something doesn't go through? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So how did you overcome that?
Well, when I was in my 20s, I had vocal injury. Like I was singing with a rock band, and I didn't really know. I didn't have a good technique, and I started to get polyps, which can turn into vocal nodes, and so I had to quit for a while. I had to go on like months of vocal rest and get vocal therapy and all this stuff. And one of the doctors I saw was like not very supportive. He said, "Oh, well, sometimes people never sing again." I was like, "What?" But thank goodness I had a really good teacher who was the opposite. She was like, "You can do this. Meet with me 3 times a week and do these exercises and just keep doing it." And indeed, it I didn't have to have surgery. I got much better, and in fact I got stamina that I never had before, and then that was tested when I first came for that job at O, because it's 10 shows a week when you do the circ shows. And I thought, okay, so now I'm going to see, can I do that, or am I going to just burn out? And it turned out that I could do it. And so that was like a wonderful. I found out that I did have good stamina once I had retrained, and I had good concentration, because if you do a show for a long time, sometimes people zone out and get bored. But I found I had like a good temperament for doing a show for a long time, and so those were great discoveries to figure out.
Oh yeah. Wow. And I love the fact that even with that doctor saying, well, some people don't ever come back from singing again, you didn't let that stop you. You didn't just say, oh, well, I guess this is it. I guess it's the end of the road of singing in my career. No, you kind
Yeah,
of still
it was
kept
a
that
it was a
mentality.
bad day, and I
Yeah.
almost was like, maybe I should just give up. But
No,
luckily I had
yeah.
other people in my life saying
That's
don't,
awesome. Yeah.
and they
And
were
I'm a
right.
yeah. And I'm a true believer that there's people that are placed in your life for a season. Maybe you're still talking to them, and that's great. But
Hmm.
there's people that come into your life for a purpose, for a certain time of your life, of a certain point that you need them. You know what I mean? Where you
Absolutely.
don't need them at a point where you're reaching out to them. They're there to need, to help you and support you at a time when you don't ask for it, when you don't look for it. It just happens. So just like for you with this appointment with the doctor, yeah, you were devastated. It was bad news that you might not ever sing again, but those people in your life were there at that time to support you and encourage you. And that's important, and I love the fact that I'm a true believer on that. And I have people in my circle that they're there, that they come at the time when I don't look for it, but they
Mm,
show up when I need them. You know what I mean? And it's
yes.
awesome just to have the blessing of good friendships and people
Ah,
supporting you. So
absolutely. And it's also a good lesson to think about, like, being really open, and because sometimes maybe that person's coming through, and if you're not paying attention, you might miss them or their message. So that makes reminds me to always like stay open and keep observant, and like keep your heart open and your observation open, if that makes sense.
no, that definitely makes sense. And yeah, and that's the thing, guys, is I'm sharing
Oops.
this to the viewers.
Sorry, my
Yeah,
phone
just
rang.
in moments of figuring something out, right? Don't be jumping too quickly to decide. Just be in the present, be in the moment, breathe a bit, and just kind of like see what friendships or people that you know might reach out of the blue and give you something you didn't know you needed. Maybe, hey, this, I think you should try this. Hey, I was thinking about this and came across that I wanted to share this with you, you know?
Mm.
You never know, or maybe just clear your mind a bit before making a big decision. So, well, Dina, it's been such a pleasure talking with you, and I hope to meet you very soon.
I hope so
Um,
too. Thank you so
yeah.
much for
Oh
inviting me.
yeah. And I'm glad that you are still at it. You are still singing and doing what you love, and I'm here with my Starbucks guys if you're wondering where I'm at. So having my coffee. Sorry for the background coffee noise, but that's the freshness of coffee. It's all noise. But anyway. But yeah, guys, if you want to come on the show and share your story and your testimony, my Instagram is Joshua Jacob Official. Feel free to send me a message and I would love to connect with you and have you come on and share your story. So well, Dina, it's been such a blessing to have you on the show. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. I really appreciate it. It's wonderful to meet you, and hopefully, I'll see you in person soon.
Yeah, and I wish you the best on the future of your career with your shows and your singing. So, all right, guys. Well, this is Joshua Jacob with Rhythm and Rose Las Vegas. Talk to you soon. Thank you for watching.